So I did. And, maybe, trying to highlight some of that now. I put it on my QRZ page there. Trying to bring awareness to amateur radio might be a good thing. But anybody that knows me in my personal life definitely knows that I am not the camera type guy, and I have a face for radio, not the TV. So, to be honest with you, it was embarrassing, to be honest with you. But hey, I'll get over that embarrassment if we can help our community grow. So thanks for the kind words, sir. K2DMG.
My pleasure, Dan, and I've plastered it all over Facebook, so there'll be more people seeing it too. 73, enjoy your day. K2DMG from W4WNO.
No, thank you, sir. K2DMG. K2DMG, this is N2GE. N2GE, I'm glad to hear from you. I heard you got an email yesterday, or maybe 5.
No, I haven't seen any emails, but anyway, I want to tell you I appreciate what you've done, and I think it's been a very good response for amateur radio and for us as a group. So I just want to personally thank you for all you've done.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. As I found out just the other day, and I wasn't made aware of this right away, Lynn is, I guess, the one that really started it in the early morning hours of Saturday morning or Friday evening, somewhere in there. And unbeknownst to me, when I came in Saturday morning and put my call out and, just had a flurry of people respond, and that's how this started on my end. I really didn't know Lynn had started some of that. So thanks to Lynn as well. I know he's sleeping right now, but I'm sure it'll get back to him. And thank you. I mean, you have provided a wonderful machine to get out to the masses here, and we thank you. And the comment that I said to you there about the emails, I guess there's a few folks that aren't so happy with the net, and myself and a few others.
Now, and I don't have anything concerning the repeater. So, but like I said.
Good morning. Top of the morning to you. We got the 10 a.m. briefing from Buncombe County. Listening in to ham radio this morning. It's so early, X-Ray. It's so early. You're right. I've been sitting here running SQL traces for the past 2 hours because I have a vendor and customer and another vendor all pointing the finger at each other saying, this is your problem. So I surprised everyone. They told us it was our server. They said you need double the RAM, double the CPU. So I am a cloud infrastructure guy. I zipped it down. And instead of giving it double, I quadrupled it and didn't tell anyone. And they said, they were like, well, we still think it's the CPU and memory this morning. And I ran a SQL trace. I said, no, not so fast, buddy. Not so fast. We've quadrupled it. We have 16 CPUs, 128 gigs of RAM. There's no way. It's our issue, and here's why, and provided them with SQL traces, and it's probably glazing a lot of you over. But here we are, together, early, and here they go with their update.
All that type of stuff. A lot of people were wanting to know this type of information, and if that's stuff you don't want to divulge,
Recording in
by all
progress.
means,
The death toll increased in Buncombe County. We'll see if this media guy can get his audio working this morning. He's so close. He's almost got it. Come on, buddy.
That I built and actually rebuilt. Ken Woodard actually put it on the air back in 1983, I think it was, and it's been up there ever since.
I also want to clarify for those that hear that email, bing, that is not me. I don't run sloppy streams like that, okay? That is when he starts presenting his Zoom. I don't play that. Nerdy don't play that, okay? You're never going to hear email
morning.
dings. Here we go.
My name is Stacy Wood. I'm a public information officer here with Buncombe County Government. Today is Thursday, October 3rd, and we are here to provide an update on the Hurricane Helene response in Buncombe County. Our speakers today include County Manager Avril Pender and Mary Ann with FEMA. Before we get started, a quick note. We need to make a correction to the small donation site drop-off location. It is not Reynolds Middle Warehouse. The site for small donation drop-off is at Beloved Asheville, located at 32 Old Charlotte Highway, Asheville 28803. Again, not Reynolds Middle Warehouse. That is not the location for small donation drop-off. The location for small donation drop-off is Beloved Asheville, 32 Old Charlotte Highway. Thank you. With that, we'll get started with remarks from County Manager Pender.
Thank you, Stacy. Good morning. Power is continue to come online, and 85,000 customers remain without power. I do want to clarify, there's been lots of questions about the number of missing or unaccounted for people in Buncombe County. I want to clarify that Buncombe County does not have an official number for unaccounted people, and that's because of 3 reasons. First, search and rescue continues now for a 7th day. We're continuing to find people. We know we have pockets of people who are isolated due to landslides and bridges out. So they are disconnected but not missing. Power, Wi-Fi, and phone coverage remains a barrier to connections. Only once our search and rescue ends will we truly know a number of unaccounted for. With our Family Assistance Center, the initiative of our Register of Deeds office, they've deployed 840 volunteers to check on 6,065 high-priority households with over 700 care packages being distributed. 2,885 of our neighbors confirmed safe and sound by volunteers, and 1,828 confirmed safe and sound through email and text as of Wednesday, October 2nd. If you want to volunteer, please report anytime between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to our registered office located at 205 College Street in Asheville. Small donations of food, water, toiletries, baby formula, dog food, etc. can be dropped off as well, and they would take that out with them when they go out on those checks for neighbors. Buncombe County has opened 2 new water and food distribution sites. They're located at Cane Creek Middle School at 570 Lower Brush Creek Road in Fletcher, and Lester Elementary School at 31 Gilbert Road in Lester. They will be open noon to 4 p.m. and will have water and ready-to-eat meals. Bring your own water containers. The other locations where you can get water and meals ready to eat are William Estes Elementary School at 275 Overlook Road in Asheville, Sandhill Elementary at 154 Sandhill School Road in Asheville. Please remember to enter from the Acton Circle location. North Windy Ridge Intermediate School at 20 Dawn Road in Weaverville. Fairview Elementary School, 1355 Charlotte Highway in Fairview. And Black Mountain Ingalls, 550 NC9 in Black Mountain. A public AT&T mobile connectivity station has been set up at the Sam's Club at 645 Patton Avenue in Asheville. Folks can access chargers, use computers, and have service for calls. Big Ivy Community Center at 540 Dillingham Road in Barnersville received several trucks of emergency supplies from Operation Airdrop yesterday. with more arriving today. This includes partial emergency items, food, water, and limited supplies of hay and feed for livestock. Please let the center know if anyone needs items delivered directly to their location. The Pikes Plumbing team will be at the Bivivy Community Center today, October 3rd, starting at noon, cooking hamburgers and hot dogs until they run out of food. Please bring to-go containers if possible and extras to share with those who are stranded. Many in the area are still without power and water. Volunteers with four-wheelers are willing to hike are needed to help distribute supplies. You can also drop off or pick up donations at Barnersville Elementary School at 20 State Road, 2170 in Barnersville. Urgent needs include volunteers, porta potties, especially those that are ADA accessible, bleach, mold cleaner, personal protective equipment, gas, propane, Coleman stoves, and more along that line. Buncombe County adult home specialists have contacted all assisted care facilities that they monitor to assess their needs, and we have contact with around 60 facilities. All facilities have been reached. Most facilities are without power. However, they have been able to meet their own needs. The pharmacies have been great in delivering medications. The biggest needs are water and gas for generators, and our teams are submitted these requests to the Emergency Operations Center and fully anticipate being able to meet those needs quickly. Staff are working to make contact with all of their clients to make sure that they have their needs met. When you are donating items to community donation centers, don't forget to consider supplies that older adults might need, like incontinence supplies. Staff are also conducting general outreach to all seniors in our community. We have contacted 301 seniors, identified their needs, and we're working with our registered deeds and the United Way to fill these needs. We're also working with them to expand wellness checks for the folks we could not get in touch with. We do not have an update number of loss of lives to provide this morning. The sheriff will be joining this afternoon at 4 p.m. to provide that update. Next, we will be joined by FEMA National Incident Management Assistance Team Lead, Marianne Tierney. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Marianne Tierney. I'm with FEMA. I'm the National Incident Management Assistance Team Lead that is assigned to Buncombe County. The first thing I want to say is that our thoughts are with the people of Western North Carolina. This is a very devastating event. I had an opportunity yesterday to travel around with the County Emergency Management Director to see firsthand the level of damage and devastation. It is significant. The recovery is going to take a long time, and FEMA will be here for the duration of the response and the recovery. A couple of things that I wanted to highlight. Our number one priority continues to remains to be life safety. As the county manager mentioned, search and rescue is active and ongoing throughout the county. I also want to encourage people, if you're safe and able to do so, to please register for FEMA assistance. There are two ways to do that. You can call 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-FEMA. Or you can go to disasterassistance.gov. That's all one word, disasterassistance.gov. Registering for FEMA assistance is a critical first step in the recovery process. FEMA has several programs that are available immediately to assist you with emergent needs. One program is called Serious Needs Assistance. This is cash that can help you with life-sustaining and life-saving supplies like food, water, and medical equipment or supplies. There's also displacement assistance. If you cannot be in your house, there is funding that could be available if you're eligible to stay in a hotel or to stay with friends and family. So I encourage people to apply for assistance. Later on, since yesterday and continuing, we will have disaster survivor assistance teams throughout Buncombe County. We have more people flowing in to support that effort. So you should see FEMA people in your neighborhood helping you register. Those folks will have access to communications so that if you cannot register yourself due to your communications outages, they will be able to register you for assistance. So be on the lookout for individuals in FEMA attire and vests that will register you for assistance. And with that, I am complete, and I will turn it back over to the county.
Thank you, Marianne. And we will open the briefing up to questions from the media.
This is Keith Campbell from Asheville Watchdog. A moment ago, there was reference to FEMA assistance teams in the area. How many team members are there in Buncombe County right now?
Great. Marianne?
We have about 5 teams right now, and they're primarily focusing on the points of dispensing. So as people receive supplies, they are registering for assistance. Over the next few days, as we receive more teams, we'll be fanning out throughout the community, including areas that are typically hard to hit. As long as it's safe for our staff to travel, they will go into communities, into neighborhoods, and register people.
Thanks, but I have a follow-up. Team members, you mentioned there are teams here, but how many members per team? Can you give us a total for what you have now and what you expect to be coming and when that additional resource will be here?
A DSA crew has typically 8 people. We can follow up and get you the specifics on where our teams are today and also how many are actually working today. I think that would be important information, especially because they're at the pods. And so it would be helpful to get the word out about their location so that people can register for assistance.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Laura Lee at Blue Ridge Public Radio. Before you step away, I was going to try to catch you. Can you just help us understand the distinction here? We've got FEMA teams on the ground registering people for assistance, but can you talk about the operations that FEMA is doing, particularly in terms of like supplying actual water and food on the ground?
Yeah, that's a great question. So FEMA does a variety of things in a disaster response. One thing we do is provide commodities through staging areas. So commodities are food and meals ready to eat in this particular instance. That's done in concert with our state and local emergency management partners. So we have a staging area with those supplies, and then as the state and the county and local officials need them, then we will distribute them to the state and local officials, and then they operate the points of dispensing where the supplies are actually given out.
Katie Hillen with News 13. This may be a FEMA question or a county question. Just wondering, does Mission Hospital have water now? If so, how did that come about? And if not, what's the plan?
I believe that would be a question for the county.
We will get your more updated answer, but from my understanding, the last time we spoke, Mission did have.
Thank you for
water
subscribing, Stephen.
pods, distribution sites. They've been using a private company to bring water to Mission.
So does that mean they actually have water coming out of the spigots and toilets flushing, or that means water is just being trucked in?
I don't have a more detailed answer. I just know that they have water being trucked, and we will research that and get that answer for you.
Okay.
Hello, Virginia Bridges from the News and Observer. I was hoping that you could walk us through the process for county officials as they're confirming these deaths, where from, starting from the ground where they're finding them to where it's reported to us. Could you explain how that works?
I will defer that question to when the sheriff is with us this afternoon.
Manager Pender, it's Laura Lee at Blue Ridge Public Radio. A couple of questions for you. One is about sewage. We've talked a lot about the water, and can you talk to us about people who are, not having water? Clearly creates difficulties on the sewer system. Can you talk about that at all?
No, I don't have any knowledge on the sewer system. We'll defer that to MSD, and they'll be joining us tomorrow, I'm being told.
Okay. What about the potential for public health issues from the lack of water and sanitation services right now? Is there a plan for a potential sort of impending public health situation?
Not at this time, Laura Lee. I believe that I would get that answer from Ellis. I'm looking at my team. They're taking notes as you're asking your questions, so we can make sure we bring the information you're looking for.
Great. Just a couple more. We talked yesterday about non-potable water from the JCC. Are there other sources of non-potable water for people who need it?
Not at this time. We've been working diligently to find a provider that would truck water in as well for non-potable. so people are not using the drinking water for flushing toilets. I've not been successful. The team is still looking for non-potable. So as we're reaching out and talking on the medias, if anyone out there has a non-potable source of water, please call the EOC and we will look to see if we can find some contracts. But finding non-potable has been harder than we thought.
Is the FEMA representative, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, Marianne. Do you have any sort of non-potable water that we could have here?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, that's something that we've been discussing with the county, and also is being discussed in Raleigh at the State Emergency Operations Center, a way to distribute in bulk non-potable water so people can do things like clean their plates and flush their toilets.
Do we have a time frame on that?
Oh yeah, do you have a timeline on that?
I do not. That's something that I would defer back to North Carolina Emergency Management.
Okay, and then
I will say real quick, we have been working closely with the state on other supplies. So as soon as we get a timeline, we'll get that to you. And I see
can I ask
Lillian.
about mobile
Before-
distribution of the, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I see Lillian stepping up. Maybe she has an answer on one of your questions from previously.
Yeah, Lillian Govis, Director of Communications and Public Engagement. Just wanted to give an update on MSD. That plant has been operational the entire time, and they have been treating the entire time. They have 37 out of 40 pump stations that are working, either with backup power or with full power. And so they've got a few transmission lines that have leaks and breakages, and they're working on repairing those. But they're making a lot of progress, and our sewage district has been operational throughout this entire disaster.
So if people are able to get water from places like creeks and other non-potable water sources, then they should be able to flush toilets, no problem, for the vast majority. Is that what we're saying?
That
okay,
is
great.
correct.
Great.
Yep.
My other question was about mobile distribution of water. We've talked about distribution points, and I think, forgive me, the time, I don't know which day, if it was yesterday or the day before, but where are we on mobile distribution of water to people who are unable to access those distribution points?
That question is very timely. So just this morning, we had a meeting with county and city of Asheville officials to talk about direct delivery of supplies. So that is a project that the county is working on, and FEMA will be supporting that with personnel resources. And I don't have a specific timeline on when that will start, but it will be in the.
Guys, thank Ahmad. If you're in here, give the mods some love. Since this has started, our mods have been conveying critical and important information. So please give them some love.
Vulnerable and cut off. Does the county have any response to the delays that we've seen in mobile water distribution?
Yes, as I mentioned in my talking points at the top of this, we have reached out to all of those seniors and nursing homes, and we're taking water to those places where masses of people are gathered. So we are taking water there. We have worked with a couple of nonprofits to get them up to speed so we can get them to take water out as well. To Marianne's point, planning is important. I hear you when you say there's delays, but planning is important. We work really hard to get those points of distribution so people that have the ability can come, so we can serve lots of people through those distribution points, and that has been happening. Now we're going down the line and making sure people that can't get here is getting water. But first we went large, and now we're whittling down to make sure people can get what they need if they can't get to us. And as Marianne, that's within the next couple of days. So I hear you with the delays, and I understand that, and it breaks my heart that we couldn't do everything all at once, but we have been working hard to make sure we can serve our community and serve our community well.
And do those points that you're saying you've taken water out where people are sort of in mass, nursing homes, et cetera, does that include any public housing? And do you have any other comments on access to basic necessities for people in public housing?
Yes, and if you recall earlier, one of these, I forget how many days we've been doing these now, but one of those, we told you that our community paramedics has been going door to door in our public housing to make sure people had water. They were taking bottled water with them as they were going door to door in our public housing complex. So yes, ma'am, that has also been on our list.
I have a water related question. Yesterday at the 4 o'clock briefing, Deborah Campbell said that the city had enough water to last through Friday. Has that changed? Is there additional water or an additional length of time that water will be available?
Water will be available. We have contracted as well, and they're replenishing as we empty one of those tankers. They're replenishing them for us. I believe our water supply right now is coming out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. So when we finish, uh, I don't remember the number of those large tankers we have on site. I want to say about 10. So as soon as one is finished, that can go back and make it to Spartanburg and bring back water. So we do have a supply of water, and we continue. I've said before, we will continue to provide that water to our community. We also have the water coming from our state now on a regular basis. So we do have bottled water that is coming in. We had some nonprofits that also serve. World Central Kitchen is here bringing water as well. So I do believe we have a supply of water, and it's no more consistent that we have water. So we will continue to provide water both to the city sites as well as to the county sites.
And then are we still saying that, do we have a better timeline for residents who don't have water? Are we still saying weeks? Can you provide any more information about that?
That would be a question that we'll direct to the city staff. They're on the 4 o'clock briefing tomorrow for full details, but Ben would be here in the afternoon to answer any specific questions on the water distribution from the city's plant.
Yes, here, Patricia from Enlace Latina NC. There is people in the community that are seeing that border patrols cars. I know that it's not about the Buncombe County thing, but people in the community are worried about that. The information that we have is they're here for helping, but it will be important to hear about that from you, so we can bring the information to the Latino community about that.
Okay, thank you.
I also saw Border Patrol officers providing security. Their mission is security related. ICE and Border Patrol are not conducting enforcement operations in the area.
Okay, thank you.
We also have another question from Walter Gomez of Enlace. To bring peace of mind to the Latino community, can FEMA, Marianne, please explain their work in the area and if they have bilingual personnel?
Yeah, I'll take the bilingual question first. So FEMA will translate all of its materials are available in Spanish, and we are aware of the languages that are spoken throughout the county. So we will be working to ensure that we can meet the language access needs of people within the county. In terms of the Border Patrol officers that are here, they are providing security on behalf of FEMA forces like the urban search and rescue teams, and also at the request of the state and the county. And so they are, again, ICE and Border Patrol are not conducting enforcement operations in the area.
It's Laura Lee at BPR again. I want to ask about internet service, cell service. We have these temporary measures.
I give rubles to everyone. I am very generous with the rubles, handing out the rubles today to the mods, so the mods can then hand out the rubles to the peasants.
Points of access?
Unfortunately not. We don't have any information yet on how long it will take to put those towers back up.
Helen Chickering from BPR has asked about portable toilets for the community. Are there any updates on these kinds of availability, and is FEMA helping with that?
That I don't believe that is on FEMA's list yet at this point in time. We are working on those toilets, as you mentioned. There are a few already deployed. I know the city has them at their sites in the city limits. And we're also looking, that has been a top commodity to get more toilets in, but we are working on putting those at our distribution sites as well across the county.
Lucas Tomei with Carolina Public Press saw yesterday that President Biden approved mobilization of active duty military to affected areas. I'm just wondering if any of those troops have arrived and what their role will be once they reach Buncombe County.
Yeah, that's a great question. So as I mentioned earlier, that we would have federal personnel that would be able to do support the delivery of commodities directly to individuals, and that is one of the missions that we are scoping for those soldiers.
Is there any update on the or information on the Chemtronics Superfund site? Any information about the concerns related to environmental concerns related to that or health concerns related to that?
I haven't heard any concerns.
Does this county have any energy whatsoever? Even the reporters sound like monotone. Is there any update on?
Receive questions about, has that been breached? Is anyone testing the waters or the soil around that site?
We'll take that question back, but I haven't, this is the first I'm hearing of that, so we'll research and get you an answer.
We had one question. We had one question about whether any of the county facilities sustained damage.
Our teams are starting to do that damage assessment now. I haven't seen anything. We had some trees down, but we haven't heard anything coming back from that damage assessment team that is going out. We took all the staff we had first to make sure we had our community organized and get services out to our community. And now we're going back to reassess county operations. I will say that we're currently, in a couple of weeks, we'll have an election. So we're also working on making sure we have the facilities and our early voting sites. That is our first priority as we go back assessing county operations. The first priority would be making sure early voting sites are ready and available. We'll start working again on getting our poll workers trained. So operations still has to happen, even though we're in the middle of a disaster. So we're trying to split our team, and we're so grateful to our state partners to send crews in from across our state, across our nation now to help us so that we can get our teams back to doing the regular work that they would normally be doing.
This is Sandy Rose with CNN. I apologize if I just missed it at the beginning, but is the confirmed fatality toll in Buncombe County still 61?
I don't have an updated number this morning, Andy. The sheriff will be here at 4 o'clock and he will bring us any updated loss of lives in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to our speakers today. As a reminder, that number that Mary Ann provided is 1-800-621-FEMA. And that number will take you to the registration for FEMA assistance, 1-800-621-FEMA. We will be back at 4 p.m. today. Thank you for joining us. And with that, we will conclude this briefing.
Okay, not a whole lot there. There's some TikTok videos. We're actually playing with audio because I don't think there's any music. For those just tuning in, that was the update from Buncombe County. Sounds like the death toll there went from 61-57 yesterday, if memory serves me correctly. Death toll from Hurricane Helene across multiple states has now risen to over 190. North Carolina experiencing the most losses. Asheville and the surrounding areas that we're covering here on this ham radio are the hardest hit. Their water and infrastructure completely wiped out. They're talking about getting the county ready for elections, which I know is needed, but I don't think now is the right time to even mention it. Someone else mentioned that as well. 91,000 residents still remain without power in that Asheville area. Joe Biden visited the area yesterday, deploying 1,000 active duty soldiers to assist people across social media. The sentiment is that it's just not enough. This is a near war zone. We're going to tune into the TikTok videos and then tune into the ham radio. We're not going to be on much longer, I think beyond 20 minutes. It's good to see everyone this morning. Let's get some audio for the TikTok. TikTok.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Bob. We'll see y'all this evening.
Ham and mules is what we're back to.
We got bound and sold delivered plates. So you got that. We got some, a little bit of cooking going on. Fine, y'all. We're hanging in there.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. We're gone.
Water generator and gas. If nothing else, I can activate from the house now.
There was a pretty cool video on X. If you follow me there, a chopper was up in the air yesterday, the day before, and someone that needed help used a mirror and the sunlight to flash them down to get relief. So some miracles happening, really. There was another one where a 75-year-old man, I believe it was, saved people. Some stories of hope coming throughout this, even though it's a near war zone.
So Ed, you may be able to check in with me a little bit later. I'll also be monitoring 147.555 today on Simplex. If there's anything to pass to me, I should be around most of the time. I sometimes have an HT and I can't hear quite as well with that as I can hear on the mobile station.
It's Thomas there on the phone. Hang on.
Here for SOS, standing by.
Thomas, the guys down at the bottom are on frequency on your local 555. I passed the freak to them, so they may be reaching out to you.
All right. Folks wanting to tune in when we're not here, Broadcastify. I use Police Scanner on my iPhone as well. You get alerts there when events are breaking. We are going to sign off for this morning now that the presser's done. Some updates from TikTok. Likely to be on for the 4 p.m. And last night we did Ham Radio After Dark. That was really interesting. It gets interesting after dark. It's kind of soothing to listen to. Last night we were all listening to the men try to show their riz to Jennifer. They were trying to handcuff Jennifer last night. Yeah. We appreciate everyone tuning in, everyone subscribing. We appreciate the love. We are going to try to stay abreast of what's going on today there in the area. I have some stuff that I need to do. Work, invoicing, and a ham radio. In that order. Eva says, but that's what I got to do. I love you guys. Be kind. We'll see you on X. We'll see you later this afternoon around 4. And perhaps if the energy is there, we will do Ham Radio After Dark. Be kind to each other, guys. Bye.